Hello scrapbooking buddies, Debbie Martin here, and today we are ready for our next edition of the Savvy Scrapbookers. This month we're using the Sweet Summer Paper Pack and the Sweet Summer Embellishment Pack, okay? So as always, we're taking the pack and we're going to be turning it into 6 pages for you. You'll need to tune in to Nicole Scrapbooks to see the other 2 pages, and the Lazy Scrapbooker with Donna Guess for the last 2 pages. So the links will be below this video. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So let me tell you what you need. We are actually splitting some paper up this time. So you're going to need a piece of this. You're going to cut, and the other side has these beautiful clouds on them. So when you cut it, you're going to need a 4 by 12 inch strip, but we're going horizontally, okay? So that the clouds are going like this, because Donna is going to be using it that way, okay? So when you cut it, you're going to put it in your trimmer like this, okay? I've already got a 4-inch one cut here, okay? But cut it like that. If maybe, I don't know what order you're doing your videos in, so maybe you're already just left with this strip, okay? So you need that. You need to take a piece of this beautiful water sand, and you need to do the same thing again. You're going to cut it at 4 inches, okay? Each one of us will be using a piece of that, so set that aside, and we don't need that one. And then you should have 2 pieces of this. You're going to need 1 piece for me. You need this piece of this beautiful Fun in the Sun Summer Vibes paper. You need the popsicle paper. And then you're going to need a scrap at like a 3/4 by 1 inch of like beige or brown. And then a piece of tangerine cardstock, okay? So that's what you're going to need paper and embellishment wise. Some tools you're going to need today. You always need your 12-inch trimmer. You're going to need your cutting mat. You are going to need a red blade, because we are going to use from the rectangle cutting system. We're using the largest rectangle today, so you're going to need that. A pair of scissors is always handy in case you got to correct something at the last minute. A corner rounder. And then you're going to need the Border Maker system. And today we are going to use the brand new Citrus Slice. If you got to see any of the National Scrapbook Day stuff this year, this came out with that, and it's still available, okay? So the Citrus Slice, and you're going to need the paper guide also. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So we are going to start with one of these pieces. Now there's 2 of them. And everybody got 2 strips. So I'm going to start by just taking this strip off, because I do believe that Nicole is the one that's going to be using this one. Okay, so go ahead and take that strip off. Now I'm going to be using these 2 strips. So we're not going to cut every single thing apart. Now I use my paper guides here, and if you haven't used these little tiny paper guides, they are wonderful to make sure that I'm actually cutting right on the line where I want. Okay, so here is the one we're not cutting apart. It says Summer, Happiness Comes in Waves, and Staying Cool. So we're turning that sideways, and we're going to keep this intact, because we are going to make popsicles today, and this is going to be one of our popsicles. So we're going to set that aside. Then you can go ahead and cut everything else apart, because we're either going to be using the front or the back. Okay, so go ahead and cut it apart. We're going to be using these fun little words. Okay, just got a smidge of that. I didn't like seeing that. Get rid of that. Okay, so then start piling these all up into stacks. And like I said, we're going to be using some of them on the front and some on the back. If you haven't seen this line, it is absolutely beautiful. I just love all the summery colors, and it's going to be perfect for your summer pictures. And then we're going to cut this here. And once again, if I'm going a little bit too fast for you, just pause it for a second and catch up, and then start the video again. Okay. And the last 2. So we've got all those cut up. The next thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be making our popsicle sticks. So you just need a little piece of brown or beige or something, and we're going to cut it at 3/4 of an inch. I find that it's easier to do it right there. So 3/4 of an inch. And then we're going to cut these into 4-inch strips. You're only going to need 2 of them, then you can set that other one aside. So we're going to put this aside. We'll be using those later. We're done with that. And then you're going to take your tangerine paper, and we are going to cut it at the 4-inch line. Okay, so 4 inches. We need another popsicle, so we're going to need a 4x6 rectangle. Okay, we're going to set that over here with our that. And then we need a 4x4 that we're going to use as a mat. Set that aside. And then we're going to go ahead and punch with the border maker system. I kind of like to have everything cut ahead of time. I think it just speeds it up when we start putting our pages together. So you open the paper guide, you put it through there. This has a magnet in it. It's going to hold it nice in place and then snap back there in there. And then we are going to use our citrus slice. This is really fun with lemons and limes too. We're actually not even using it as a citrus slice today. We are kind of using it as almost like a lace. Okay. And we're going to flip it around just so I don't have to cut it right this second, because we're going to trim it off in just a minute. Go ahead and put it in the other side. We will not be using all of this paper today, so you'll have a little of it left. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to trim this off at the 1-inch line. Okay, so when I mean 1 inch, I'm going to show you exactly what I mean by that. Okay, so we pull in our trimmer, open it up, and I'm going to put it right here just so the top of it just touches. So because we're going to be tucking this behind, if yours is a little off, you don't have to worry about it because it's going to go behind a long strip that we have. Okay, so now we're done with that. Okay, so now we are ready to make our popsicles. So we're going to pull out our 2 4x6 rectangles, and these are what we're going to be making them with. Okay, so now this is where you need your big rectangle from the custom cutting system. Okay, we're going to be using the red blade, and we're going to be using a corner rounder. So I'm going to try to show you close up. What I want is we're making a shape that's kind of got a little bit of an angle. Okay, but we want it to come down here. Now, does it have to be, could it be like that? Could it be like that? It's not going to matter because we are going to repeat that shape on the other side, and I'll show you how to do that. So we're just trying to get it so it touches the top, but does have an angle. Okay, so that looks pretty good. So let's go ahead and try that. And if it's not perfect, I've done it quite a few times. If it's not perfect, you don't have to worry about it because we'll just take scissors and we'll make it perfect. Okay, so let's get it at the angle we want. Okay, and then we'll tear that off, and then we're going to come on this side and we're kind of going to repeat that. So I'm going to actually put the shape over the top of it. Now this time I just know that it's going to cut just a smidge bigger than that, so I'm following the shape of it to repeat that exact same look. Okay, and we're going to put our blade in here. Hope that matches just like that, and come down here. Okay, because we're going to, see there's a little smidge right there. Because we're going to be corner rounding this, this is going to be fine. And there's a little bit of a little thing right there. Fix that. Okay, And we're gonna just fix this like that. And then we're gonna bring our corner rounder in. And our corner rounder in. And there we have our popsicle. And if it's not perfect, you just take your scissors and make it perfect. Okay, let's do that one more time. Now this one, I kind of want my popsicles to be the same, so I'm gonna leave one of them right there. And now it's gonna be easier to see when I come in here and do this. Okay. And I'll come back in here, kind of put it the same angle, knowing that the red blade's going to cut very close to this, just like a 1/16 of an inch away. Put it in there and bring that down here. Okay. We'll fix that and bring this back over here. We can flip that one over. Get rid of this we don't need anymore. And repeat that same shape on an angle to get what we're, just make sure that's straight. Move that out of the way and go ahead and put your red blade in. So you're gonna, what I found the easiest thing to do, because I put pictures in mine, I'll show you that at the end. I found like the easiest thing to do was to actually, I'm gonna take my scissors and just fix that just a little bit. Okay, I found the easiest thing to do was to actually take this off and trace it onto my picture. So let me show you a picture. If I trace this onto the picture right now, I could either freehand it and just go inside of my marks, or I could do the same process I just did with this and just move it in a little bit more. So you can do either one when you go to do your pictures, okay? But let's go ahead and corner round this. So we get that shape of, and I don't like that. So once again, grab your scissors and make it to perfect. There we go. So there's our popsicles. Let's set those aside. And we're done with this and our red blade. And we are ready to put our pages together. So don't forget that you need to go watch the other two girls' videos so that you too can complete 6 pages from this pack. Okay. So on this side, I've used this beautiful Summer Words one in navy. And on this side, I've used the popsicles. Okay. So let's go ahead and add our paper. So we had 2 strips that we cut earlier. One had those clouds on the one side. We're going to be using this side. And then we are going to be using this like starfish side on this side. But before we put those down, we are going to put on the inside edge some repo tape. So I'm going to grab my repo tape. Hope you're all having a good day today. I'm having fun playing with all these new products. So now we're just going to put this along the line. To get it straight, I'm running, look how fun that looks. And that's going to go here. We're going to do the same thing on this one. I want to make sure. There's no real directions to the stars. So I think you're fine with either way you go. Sometimes you do want to check before you start cutting your paper if there is a direction, because you want to make sure that you don't have something upside down. Because I can't even tell you how many times I've done that. Okay, so let's go ahead and stick those down. Okay. How fun is that? Let's stick this side down. Get it straight on my paper. Okay, just like that. And I need that's okay. There we go. We got that sticking down. Okay, so now we are ready to add our popsicles. So we had our 2 little strips that we cut wherever those just went. Did they just disappear? Hello. Story of my life. I don't know where they just went. So when all else fails, you can cut yourself another one. Do you see? Anybody see what I did with it? You see what I did with that little strip? I do not. So let's just cut another one because I know I cut it and it disappeared. How many times have you lost something? I usually lose my phone. I will sometimes lose my corner rounder. We're putting it at the 3/4 inch. Even though we did this, we're doing it again. Okay, So, oh, you know what? I just found it. It's on the floor. There we go. Okay, 3/4 of an inch by 12. And then we had to cut these into 4 inches. So a 4-inch strip and a 4-inch strip. We're gonna find them. Okay, 4 inches. And then what we're gonna do to make it look more like a popsicle stick, we are going to corner round the bottoms. So you don't wanna stick it all the way, I'm gonna show you. Okay, then come on this side, and you're just getting that nice little like tongue depressor kind of look, popsicle stick look. So do this and do that. Yay, we're ready to put our popsicles together. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna put this here, kind of put one up a little higher than the other. Let's put some adhesive on this and kind of put it on there so it looks right, about like that. And then go ahead and put some adhesive on this. How fun is that? How fun. Okay. And we're gonna go ahead and put some adhesive on this. Now we're gonna be using one of our fun embellishments. We're gonna bring that in here. So actually I'm gonna bring it in just so I know where to put my popsicles. Now, do you have to use this with only popsicle pictures? Absolutely not. This is summer, so it could be any summer. Like this picture here, if I went, this was taken my granddaughter, we were at the zoo. So does it have to be popsicles? No, it's just a fun page. Okay, let's go ahead and while we're finishing this up, I got these fun little popsicles here in a row. So let's put a couple of foam squares on those, just to pop them a bit. Okay, and make sure that you click to subscribe and then click the little bell so that you don't miss any videos that the Savvy Scrapbookers or any of us are doing on our regular pages. Okay, so we've got this. Let's go ahead. I think this one, I think we need foam squares on this one too. Just sometimes you need foam squares. So let's go ahead and put these down. I'm going to put that right in here. And now we're going to come over here and we're going to do this page. We're going to start with this and these fun little squares that we cut out. And you can put these in any order. I'm going to show you a couple different ways. So I kind of started with the sun up here, sunshine on my mind, maybe a little watermelon, hot, 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 I heart summer, and lazy days. So you can put them like, first of all, you could put them in a row. Fun little border. You could put them where they're just kind of scattered throughout like that. Also fun. Or there's so many ways you can use these fun little things. Or we can kind of alternate them in and out. And I think that's what I'm going to choose to do today. So I am going to use my mat for this so I can line them up on something as I put them down because I kind of would want them straight. So I'm going to go ahead and do it like this, but you do it any way you want. I'm going to bring it in about 1/4 of an inch. That way when you're working on your mat, it makes it really easy. So 1/4 of an inch over here. Okay, and straight up. We're going to do that again. So go ahead and stick your squares down any way you like. 1/4 of an inch. This pack is great. It's great for barbecues. It's great for swimming or lake pictures or vacation or anything summery. And I don't know, I'm here in the Midwest and I am ready for summer. We had a taste of it yesterday. It was 80 degrees and today it's 57 and raining. So it goes in the Midwest. Okay, so now we're gonna put some mats. Now when you're putting your mats down, you can use, this is what you got. You've got 4 to choose from. We're gonna put this little fun beach chair down here in the corner, and I'm not sticking it down yet because I wanna figure out what I want to do. Do you need a journaling box because you wanna write down what happened? Or maybe you don't, you wanna flip that over. Do you need maybe a little sun where you just wanna put a title of where you were at? And you wanna put that in here. Could you bring these in straight? Absolutely. Some people, and I actually am one of those people that sometimes I have a hard time like putting things all over the place, but I actually kind of liked it with this one. It kind of had a fun feel to it. Or I can just bring that in here. If you've got pictures and they're swimming pictures or outside pictures, maybe you want to replace it with that one. Or you might want to just replace it with that one, and when you put your picture on it, I'll bring my picture in you so you can see. See how it just brought a little bit of blue, which brought the blue from this side. So you can do whatever you want. You've got 4 to choose from. You've got different sides to choose from. I'm going to put it on here in a kind of fun, whimsical way. But once again, you're making these, you do what you want with them. And here's another little clue. I'm using Repo. I like Repo because, say, my pictures need to go a different direction or something. Probably not as much here because these are squares. But when you are doing pages ahead of time, you can use Repo tape, and you could just put a little bit in the center so that when you actually go to use those later, that you could pull it up and put it whichever direction you want. Or some people just go ahead and, I'm going to throw this picture on just to show you how cute it is. And some people like just keep the mats with the pages that they've made, so that when they're ready to do the pages. Now I went ahead and cut, just so you can see how cute those are, I went ahead and cut my pictures down a little bit, just so you could see how it goes in here. And look how cute that is. So fun and cute. I hope you enjoyed this video today. Make sure you go to Nicole's and to Donna Gus, the Lazy Scrapbooker, and Nicole Scrapbooks. Go to the link below and click on it and do your videos. And tell me what your favorite thing is on all these embellishments. I'm loving the summer with the popsicle, but let me know what your favorite is. We'll talk to you soon, and happy scrapbooking.